When life hands you lemons, you make lemonade. The No Fake Channel, checking in. Jonathan here, bringing all of us misfit toys and introverts together for another Home Gym Week in Review. We got so much to talk about. We're going to dive in to the brand new release from Rep Fitness. Last week, we discussed Rep Fitness teasing us on an upcoming release, and they even went so far as to show that it was probably going to be this utility bench. Today, they dropped their new product. They removed the mask, and you can see that it is in fact their utility bench and accompanying band pegs. And with any one of their releases, they of course drop a little sizzle reel on YouTube showing how they designed it, how they made it, all the exercises you can do with it, as well as some of the details. And by looks on this thing alone, it looks like it is highly versatile, which makes sense. It's a utility bench, so it's going to be used for a lot of different options with regards to whether it's into your rack, on the outside of your rack, whether you want to use it for box squats, you want to use it for step ups, you can use like one-legged split squats, you can use it as a stand, you could use it as a desk if you're working from home, seal rows, you could even use it as a place to throw your wall balls against, and they go over the sturdiness. You can use it to help spot. It's really versatile. I can certainly see why a lot of people are going to want to pick this up. Comes in at $250. Now, if you want the pad, you're looking at $350. And the pad, I think you're probably going to need the pad for stuff like seal rows, because I don't know if you're going to want to rest your body on that metal. Also, if you want to add those band pegs, as we talked about, an extra $20. Let's dive in to the shallow end of the details and go over some of the stats. I already mentioned 50 pounds, 11 gauge steel. It can hold 1,000 pounds of capacity, and it will fit 3x3 racks that have an outside width of 47 or 49 inches. So that is nice. You're going to get yourself a metallic black powder coat. For the utility seat pad, it comes with their brand new dense foam and clean grip vinyl that they have been touting on their new bench release. So that's nice to see. It's going to be easier for cleanup, and it's going to give you a nice denser feel overall. Also, a nice feature is that the pad is easy to remove. You can see that they remove this lickety split with 2 bolts. So that's nice, because when you set something up, take something down, you don't want to be spending 4 or 5 minutes every time you go to do a new different exercise. You want something that's going to be hit it and quit it. So I see 3 minor issues that may or may not be a cause for concern for you with regards to this utility pad. Number 1, as we already mentioned, the cost. $371 if you want to get the seat, the pad, and the band pegs. That's a pretty good chunk of change no matter how you split it. Not saying it's not worth that price, but for a lot of people, it's going to be a consideration. The other thing is going to be your safeties. If you're like me and you already have strap safeties for your power rack, you are going to need to buy another set of safeties in order to connect this to your home gym, whether that's external safeties or just drop-down safeties. And again, that could be an increased charge. For many of you, you already have those safeties, so it's not that big of an issue. And the third thing is going to be storage. We love getting attachments for the home gym. Love it. It means we add more versatility for our home gym. But those attachments have to be stored when not in use. And as we've already mentioned countless times, space is obviously an issue. The fact that you can store this on your rack with band pegs is great. Glad that they did that. And I think that's going to be a big reason people are going to grab this, because they're going to have a specific space to store it. However, for some of you with the pad as well as with the utility seat, you're going to have to figure out where this is going to be kept in your home gym when it's not in use. And for many of you, myself included, that space just keeps to get smaller and smaller and smaller with every new purchase. I want to know from you. Comment down below. Should I pick this up to review? Do you want to see it in action? Last night at Dodger Stadium, a fan in love decides to rush the field and propose to his would-be fiancée, propose to the woman he wants to live with forever. And let's see what he gets in response. Does she say yes or no? Wait for it. Boom! he gets absolutely drilled by security. He gets a concussion. He gets CTE for his troubles. And honestly, I don't blame security one bit. When it comes to people getting on the field, you've got to assume that they are all almost like terrorists at this point, and they need to be treated as such. Whether they're down on one knee or whether they're running to attack you, you got to just take them out. Do you want to see that in slow motion? Because I want to see that in slow motion. Let's see if we can slow it down. Slow it down. Here it comes. Bends the knees, drives through the body, boom, eliminates the threat. And that, my friends, is how you take out a would-be terrorist or someone just proposing to their new fiance. Timeout. I need to thank all of you for using my affiliate links, which are in the description of today's video. And when you use those links help support the channel, and all proceeds go right back in to future reviews. And if you do use those links, let me know so that I can send you a small token of my appreciation. Of all the brand new home gym videos that were released from Gluck, Coop, myself included, my favorite has to be Carp's Gym. If you're not familiar with his YouTube channel, I'm gonna link it in the description below. This dude is funny. He dropped a new Fid Bench video, and honestly, the introduction is just money. Some people, when they create videos, the introduction is just boring. It just doesn't pull you right in. But this guy went above and beyond with some nice edits, with some good little Easter eggs thrown in, some nice B-roll, and him throwing this bench around. And of course, he threw in Happy Gilmore. How do you not love a man who just throws in a good Happy Gilmore reference? And frankly, it's just a fun video. Oftentimes with reviewing pieces of equipment, it can get old and stale. I can't remember the name of this movie from like the early 90s, but this is one of my favorites as well. So he did a really good job with this introduction and the whole video in general. Coach Carp doing a fantastic job. Check out his channel in the description of today's video and give him a thumbs up. Let him know that the No Fate 24/7 channel sent you. In sports, there's not much going on, to be completely honest. There's obviously Major League Baseball's opening day. We also have the Bruins on a straight path to the playoffs, and I can't wait for NHL playoffs to get here. And the Final Four for the men's NCAA tournament is in 2023, with the cost of everything going through the roof and inflation still higher than Joe Rogan's podcast on Spotify. I am curious, are budget home gyms dead in the water? And the answer is they are alive and well. And I've got a few key takeaways to show you what I mean. Number one, Walmart still doing the thing on selling the cheapest foreign-made products you can find. They have an open trap bar. This normally sells for $300 from other companies at $100 brand new delivered. Okay, it's not rackable, but it's open, and this thing can hold a significant amount of weight, more weight than you can lift, if I'm being completely honest. And the fact that you get it brand new, not used, delivered to your home, I already picked one up. You should too. $106 because of Massachusetts sales tax. If you don't want to go heavy in the paint, you can buy this version, which is normally $200. I used to own one of these for 3 years. Fantastic piece of equipment, $60 delivered. Here is another Yes for All safety squat bar. This looks like exactly like a copy of Titan Fitness's older version that they still sell for $300+. It looks like it has the same pad, the same handles. I got a feeling it was made in the same factory. Boom, Amazon, $200 delivered. And these examples aren't just flashes in the pan. Walmart constantly has dumbbells for $1 per pound or less. And even Best Buy has kettlebells for crazy like 89 cents per pound. There's great deals out there to be had if you are patient, if you look around, and if you are willing to buy knockoffs, right? So basically these cheapo brands that are pulling equipment from the same factories as a lot of the name brands, and they're just selling it at barely a markup. I am constantly touting how great home gym equipment is as an investment because frankly, nothing ever breaks on them, especially when there's no moving parts like a dumbbell or a kettlebell. And in fact, what's a better investment is buying used equipment because someone else already paid the initial price. You get the savings, but the equipment operates and functions as good as it did day one. And I've got a prime example here. This is a kettlebell. This is a competition kettlebell, quite expensive. And unfortunately, UPS sent this to me in the most horrible state you can imagine. They literally sent it to me rusted. They sent it to me chipped and damaged. And I still haven't been able to get the actual sticker off of the front. Even the bottom of this kettlebell is chipped and rusted, and someone put a random Sharpie marker. So this is going to be an absolute prime example if you are buying used, and how you can save a bunch of money and still have a nice looking home gym and enjoy those pieces of equipment with just a little bit of TLC. It's also going to be a prime example of if all of your equipment is old and you feel like, man, maybe it's time for an upgrade, or maybe you're getting sick of looking at rusty pieces, how you can fix your pieces and give them a little bit of a facelift. Usually rust is going to be the #1 issue you need to deal with, and there's a number of ways to skin that cat. A good one way is to just dump this thing and soak it for a day or two in vinegar. We're actually going to use a multifaceted approach because the rust is so heavy, and I still need to actually pull this off. So we're going to start off by coating this in lime away. We're going to coat it, and then we're going to rub it down with steel wool and hopefully get most of the sticker that is still on here off, and we're finally going to soak it in a vinegar bath. Very quickly, here is what the final product looks like. I soaked this in vinegar overnight, scraped it down with a wire brush and steel wool, and then I put soap and water to it to get all of that vinegar off and let it dry completely. 2 coats of primer that were put on back to back, followed by 3 very light coats of a gloss green. It's what I had in the garage, and I think it came out pretty well, all things considered. You can see there are still obvious marks where the original coating was just chipped, and it's nothing you can do about that, at least not with a can of spray paint. Here's what the original coating, if it was shipped correctly, should look like. Thank you, UPS. And you can see it is a lot more flat in the finish than the gloss that I use. So if you're looking to match up your kettlebell colors, or any colors for that matter, your best bet is to go with the flat. I will say that regardless of what paint you use and how good of a job you do, the final product is never, ever going to look as good as when it comes shipped correctly from the factory. How did I do overall? Let me know in the comments below. And just for reference, keep in mind that when you're using kettlebells and you're throwing them around your gym, no matter how careful you are, they are going to get just banged up. I mean, they're going to get used and abused, and that's why you own the equipment, and that is to use it. So you shouldn't get too bent out of shape when they do get those little love dings in there. And every few years, yeah, throw a can of spray paint on them. Now, just for S's and giggles, I reached out to a powder coating company, and to sandblast and powder coat a kettlebell with the color of your choosing was $50 for one. Obviously, if you had more, they would probably drop that price point down. Let me know in the comments below if you want to see me pay the man the money and get my kettlebell sandblasted in order to see how the finished product compares to simply spray painting.
Pay that man his money.
In pop culture, Hasbulla posted a video of him essentially torturing a cat. I'm not going to post it on today's video because it's not appropriate. Obviously, you don't mess with cats. You don't mess with animals in general. If you're not familiar with Hasbulla, he's like a Russian or a Dagestani. He is 20 years old, but he looks like he is an actual toddler. He's got a disease that makes it look, frankly, he's just a very young child. And the internet used to love him because he would go play with guns, drive cars, and do all sorts of crazy fanatical stuff. And of course, it's funny because he's very little. It's unclear whether he will be canceled for kind of messing around with cats inappropriately, or if it's going to just fly over. What is interesting is that he recently had a collaboration with the Nelk Boys. They just had a clothing release with him on almost all of their clothing, so it'll be interesting to see what type of backfire the Nelk Boys receive for having that collab. Home gym con. This is the last time I'm going to talk about it on this channel for 2023. Why? Because it's literally a stone's throw away. Less than 2 weeks from now, Home Gym Con is going to be in full effect. French Lick, Indiana, the home of Larry Bird, is going to be blown up with all of you home gym aficionados. It is the first home gym conference in the world. And I've got no affiliation. I've got no coupon code. Why am I talking about it? Because it's good for the community and because I think this is going to be one of those conferences that's only going to get multitudes bigger year over year. Let me give you an example. VidCon, when it first started, it was like nothing. Now it is a massive gathering of all the YouTubers. Same thing goes for Comic-Con, South by Southwest. Even the Arnold Classic, when it first started out, was just a bodybuilding show. And now it's this massive 40,000, 100,000 people event that people go to. And I think that's what's going to happen to Home Gym Con over time. You can still buy tickets. You can get discounts on hotels if you're interested. You can buy the t-shirts if you want to support them. Let's just quickly go over the schedule. So it's April 14th, starting off on Friday. You get early access, 4 to 6 p.m., then followed by dinner and drinks, and of course, karaoke if that's your game. Saturday, you can actually go in there and just work out on the expo floor, and I think that's going to be awesome. To just get in there early, bang out a workout, go back to your hotel room, shower, clean up, and then just enjoy the expo for the day. Tons of different events with regards to seminars and stuff like that they've got going on. But let's talk about Sunday. They wrap it all up. Keep in mind, this just isn't in like the city of Boston where you're kind of like in the hustle and bustle of a major conglomerate. You're in French Lick, Indiana. You got golf courses. You got casinos. You got a whole bunch of great stuff, and you've got God's country out there. Now let's talk about the sponsors. Now they got everyone out of the woodwork coming and showing up. Juggernaut AI, Surplus Strength, Bells of Steel, and many, many more. They got a ton of people showing up to show off home gym equipment. We've got a few companies showing up to release unseen new designs. And frankly, if you liked the coverage of the Arnold with a lot of the home gym equipment that was there, there's going to be like 3 or 4 times as much home gym equipment at this event than there was at the Arnold. So why am I not making my way out to the mecca of the home gym community? Why am I not going to God's country in French Lick, Indiana? It's not the 14-hour drive. I can do that standing on my head. It's not the gas money or the days off of work. Unfortunately, it is the 2 nights at the hotel that would cost me well over $400. That's keeping me out of the game. If you want to sponsor my hotel stay, hey, I will make the trek, make the journey, load up the minivan, and get myself there and make as much content at the Home Gym Con as humanly possible. If you made it this far in the video, you and I are officially like lemons and lemonade. We're like Turner and Hooch. We're like Walmart and budget home gyms. We are best friends. As usual, check out the links in the description. They help the channel out. And as usual, never save anything for the trip back.
It feels different. It feels fantastic.